Our family's always been involved in downtown, and same thing there. Since my parents were involved, I started getting involved, especially at a young age. I got involved. I don't know. I guess I've been helping out a lot. Even since we moved here, I've been helping out in parades and things like that. And then I moved up too, and I sit on the Lab at 5 board. So that's nice. I've been helping with the Lab at 5 since the start, and now I'm the board chairman for the Business Improvement District downtown, and we do a lot of redevelopment grants and things like that. Um, I figured since I was gonna live here, I'm not moving away anytime soon. I don't plan on to. I figured I'd start getting involved and trying to change things, because the attitude of my friends a couple years ago was, there's not a whole lot to do in Great Falls, yada yada yada. And I got kind of sick of it and said, well, I'll make it better. I'll try to help. And so the more I've been getting involved, the more people I meet, and the more I realize that there's a big, huge community push to try to change things, especially downtown. And you're seeing it now. We have a lot of investment in downtown, even the past 8 months, with a lot of these new businesses opening up. But everybody wants a bigger, healthier, nicer city, and that's what we're trying to work for. Your statement was spot on. That it's a perception. And Great Falls has always had this perception of being this image, and we transform more to this image. So the goal now is to try to get the self-image fixed in Great Falls, and especially downtown. A lot of people think downtown is a bad environment or not safe, and that's just not true anymore. But the board I sit on is, the actual definition is we're a quasi-governmental organization, and we redevelop buildings downtown using TIF funds. And so what that actually means is my district is First Avenue North, Central Avenue, and First Avenue South, between the Civic Center and 7th Street. And we get these TIF funds, which are kind of not an added tax, but it's kind of a property tax of sorts that we get from the city. And then we reinvest it back into the property owners downtown in our district. And so we do a lot of grants, whether we're helping on residential. We have a lot of residential buildings being remodeled. We have facade grants. If a business owner wants to redo their brick building, we have grants to help that out. We've helped the Rocky Mountain building. We will be helping the Rocky Mountain building once they start this spring. We've given grants to Celtic Cowboy to redo a lot of their things. So we deal directly with the property owners in that aspect, and do a lot of grants that way. And then we also do things behind the scenes that nobody really realizes. Like, we take care of all the garbage downtown, remove graffiti, we hang all the flowers in the summertime, do a little bit of plowing in the wintertime, do a lot of the art, pay to have the Christmas lights hung up. So there's a lot of things my organization does that people just don't really realize. I'm going to start with downtown because I like downtown a lot. As a future business owner downtown, it feels really good to see outside community supporting downtown, and even outside people talking about how great downtown has been. And I travel a lot, and I've heard a lot of people say, without even me getting into conversation, that I'm part of downtown. It kind of just comes up in the conversation that downtown is growing, and there's a lot more healthy things happening downtown, which is really nice with all the tons of businesses that are opening up. And I could go in for an hour and a half and talk about all the things, but it's nice. We have Pacific Steel move their corporate headquarters downtown. Goodwill open the corporate headquarters downtown. We'll have more residential spaces here eventually, and more restaurants and bars, which is always a good thing. The community in general, I think, is getting past the perception of just being, G-funk is the term that is thrown out a lot, and that's a perception we're trying to get away with in Great Falls. And the city's been doing a really good job, and I think they've realized that their self-image needs to be a little bit more confident, And we have a lot of great resources in Great Falls, and the city's finally realizing its potential. I'm not saying the city's perfect, every city has its downfalls, but we're moving in the right direction. And with the ADF steel manufacturing plant coming, that's huge, huge news for Great Falls. We'll provide a ton of jobs, and I have a couple buddies that got hired up there. And so, in general, the community is moving in the right direction, and we just hope, more and more young people like myself stick around and get involved, because that's what we need. I would say the city has to find a way to strike the balance between attracting new businesses, but also keeping the city positive. You know, we don't want to have an influx of business and industry and ruin what we have here, but we also have to have those businesses and manufacturing facilities come in so we can keep expanding on the path we're on. But you know, we also don't want to be like Williston, North Dakota, and have oil running around everywhere and things like that. But I would just say if people really want to change or get involved, they have to get involved, especially at a young age. And it's been very interesting to learn the ins and the outs of the city, and you know, what we need and what we don't need. And you know, it's easy to complain. You know, people will complain day in and day out, but if you want to make a positive impact, you just have to get involved. No matter what you like, you know, you can get involved on a city board, you can get involved in a nonprofit organization, or just something just to get out there and just see the positive things the city has to offer, and go from there.